Hello everyone, Brendan Snyder here. Thank you for joining me. On Friday, February 28th, there was a new release by the Babies called Anthology 2, and as it sounds, it's a greatest hits. The difference is that these tracks have been re-recorded by the new lineup, the guys that you see on the front there. Those guys being Tony Brock on drums as an original member, and Wally Stalker on guitar, an original member, and then they've got two new guys. They've got John Waite on vocals, and Joey Sykes on bass. Now the original band formed in 1975, and the name The Babies, spelled B-A-B-Y-S instead of the traditional way, B-A-B-I-E-S, was a thing that they did because they thought at the time in the industry, they were a British band, that the industry was only interested in teeny bopper type bands and stuff like that, and so they named themselves The Babies to draw attention to them as being this sort of younger band kind of a thing. And the spelling of it was really just to sort of draw people's eyes to it because it was misspelled, and it ended up sticking and working for them, so they kept it. Thing is that over the years, I think the Babies are probably more remembered for their famous members that have been in the lineup over the years. Back during their heyday from 77 to 1981, John Waite was the original singer. 1984, he had the hit Missing You, and then later in the late 80s, early 90s, with Bad English, he had When I See You Smile, that was a big hit. Jonathan Cain was also a member, so he eventually goes on to join Journey, and then John Waite in Bad English. And then Ricky Phillips, who was also in Bad English, he later goes on to join Styx, and he's currently with them. So they've had a number of famous people with them over the years, and that does still bring a lot of attention towards the Babies and the material they recorded, back in the 70s and early 80s there. But in 2013, they did reform, and in 2014, they released this album here, I'll Have Some of That. And it's a really strong album, and it's got the classic hooks and melodies and everything that we know the Babies for, and is a really solid effort. But this package here is a recording of a re-recording, I should say, of the greatest hits, and it's got solid production on it, and current lead singer John Waite has a very similar vocal style to John Waite. And I think that is both a good thing, and I wouldn't say a bad thing, but it's good in that the songs still sound like the way they were recorded back in the day, but at the same time, sometimes I have a little hard time distinguishing the new singer from John Waite on here. A lot of the 70s production trappings are gone, in my opinion, on it due to the modern technology of recording it today. It sounds clearer, crisper, and a lot less dated feel to it, the way some of the songs sounded, or recordings sounded from the original albums. And because all the songs are recorded currently, they all have the same volume level and sound level to them and stuff like that. So again, that's really nice to, when you're listening to this, to actually sound like it's all recorded together, and of course the same members and things like that. The hits do cover, or the songs on here do cover their hits. They had 2 top 20 hits on the Hot 100 chart on the Billboard. They also had 1 top 40 hit. Isn't It Time was number 13, and Every Time I Think of You was also number 13, and then Back on My Feet Again went to number 35. So they did have hits in their own right, and were a pretty well-going band at that time. Definitely making a name for themselves, and being worthy of reforming here and carrying on a legacy and everything. The thing is, so that this has got 2 discs in it. I'll read the tracks off of disc 1, which were all the hits. The first track on here is called If You've Got the Time. Then second one is Give Me Your Love. Then Wrong or Right, Isn't It Time, Love Don't Prove I'm Right, Every Time I Think of You, Head First, Back on My Feet Again, Midnight Rendezvous, True Love, True Confession, Anytime, Darker Side of Town, Postcard, Turn and Walk Away, When Life Goes Right, Not Ready to Say Goodbye, and the last track, Postulate in G. There's 17 tracks on the first disc. The second disc in here is actually just the entire album from 2014. I'll Have Some of That added to it. And so while it does cover the whole career in doing that, I sort of felt like adding the whole album was a bit overkill to this and unnecessary. And I would have rather them either one, completely intersperse the old recordings or the old songs with the new songs to have the interspersed track listing there, or to have only included a few of the newer songs and intersperse them in with it. But adding the whole disc in here seems a bit overkill and a bit of a cash grab, and that part I don't like about it. The bottom line on this recording is that I'll show you the sticker that was on the front of this that states that it's got new songs by the Babies plus the greatest hits reimagined. And I feel like there's a bit of false promotion there because first of all, there's no new Baby songs. The newest ones on here were from 2014, and it was already on an album that was released, and I already own it, so I'm not actually getting new songs. And the hits that are supposed to be reimagined to me sound exactly like the original ones. I don't really hear any difference in it. So here's the front cover of it, and it opens up as like a triple gatefold here. So it is a digipack. I'll show you the back side of it. There's no booklet that comes with this. The CD just slides out one at each end of this thing. There is a little insert in it that just has thank yous and things, but as I said, no booklet or anything like that. And so all in all, as I said, I think this has a bit of false advertising. Know what it is that you're getting when you're going into it. I really do like the re-recordings, and I think it's fun to hear it with the new guys. And so that part of it alone makes it worthwhile to me. The disc was only 16 bucks on Amazon. So again, I didn't spend very much on it, but it would have been nice if up front they stated what they were doing here by including that second disc on it. All right, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, and I hope everyone has a great day. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.